Hello, everybody.
Welcome back to another episode of Mondays Are for the Nerds. I am Jay Wright.
And I am Tristan Stump.
We hope you had a lovely week.
I know I did.
That was kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where
You know where you're going
I
with
did.
that?
I did had a pretty good week. I did. I was pretty busy, but I was able to have some fun.
Honestly, not as busy. I mean,
No.
I say I had a lovely week. I mean, I did have, I had to call into work once because of,
Yeah.
excruciating back pain. but
It was all fine.
we got that figured out. I went and got my back all realigned or whatever. So
And now you're good to go.
now I'm good to go.
Back to normal.
Yeah, I got to play some multiverses. A new game I'll be talking about later. I got to play, so I'll leave my thoughts on that for later.
I finished box 2 of the Titanic,
Okay.
and I'm like halfway into season 4 of Cheers because of it. I did one bag into box 3, and I'm kind of like putting it aside for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I did start playing Planet Zoo, as I told you for the first time, because Zoo Tycoon is like up there
Mm-hmm.
when I was playing as a kid, because I got mad at Mafia 3. But that's another story.
Dude, there is, you talking about like old computer games, because
Yeah.
you were telling me about that, and I was like, I wonder if there is an old computer game.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
we're not talking about the one that's on the Xbox a couple years ago. We're talking about like disk drive,
Yeah,
old computer games, Zoo Tycoon.
I had a Casper game
Oh, that
on
sounds
my
so
on my
awesome.
mom. It was like Casper needed your help getting all his ancestors back into paintings or something like
Mhm.
that. So you had to go around and collect items and, you solve puzzles and suck
Yeah.
the ghosts back into the paintings or whatever.
Yeah.
And, being 3 years old or however old I was playing it,
Yeah.
it terrified the crap out of me. And I'm like, now that I'm
Yeah, because you're 3
now
playing
that I'm
like
a
a ghost
ripe
game.
24 years old, I need to
You're like,
ripe. I need to.
Good.
Why did I use the word ripe? Anyway,
Ripe 24-year-old.
now that I'm a brave 24-year-old boy,
Exactly.
I ought to try it again, but I'll have to hunt down. I couldn't even tell you what the name of the game was. I just know it was Casper. The unfortunate thing about Young Stumpy is all my CD-ROM games that were on my computer were all scratched up to high heaven.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
even if I found them now and I had a disk drive to connect to my computer or whatever, absolutely unusable.
Wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of like how ours were. And then we'd just like throw them aside because we were, kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then we wouldn't.
That's how I lost a PS1 Scooby-Doo game.
Mm.
It was in the floor and I was crawling around looking for a toy and I just heard a crunch.
And you broke it.
I broke.
No.
It's the only game. That was my lesson. That I was like 5 or 6, and that was
Yeah.
when I was like, well, I guess I know now why Dad and Mom keep telling me, don't just throw the discs into the floor.
Exactly. Actually put them up. It's like when you're mad at your younger self, because I have a bunch of Lego sets. Like, I have the dumpster scene from Toy Story 3 Lego set.
Me too.
And also the Western from Toy Story 2.
I had the dumpster scene from
I
Toy
wanted
Story
the
3,
train
and I
bag.
had the trash compactor from Toy Story 3.
I have the trash compactor from Toy Story 3. Yeah. It was... I wish I had it put together, and I don't, because I was a kid.
I
and
had it put
played with
together.
and then I have part of the crane that I used for
Mhm.
like a little hodgepodge
I had
thing.
it put together, and then I had to take it apart because we moved, and I
Yeah.
never took it out of the box. But the minifigures I kept.
Oh, I still have
All
the
the
minifigures.
minifigures are
The ones that
gone.
don't have like the little scruffs on them.
I had Lotso. I had the
I still use
was
Lotso.
Stretch the name of
The
the octopus. I had
Yeah.
a Lotso Stretch. I had the strong dude who had changing faces, the rock dude.
Oh, I think it's Crunch.
Crunch.
I think.
I had, any of the toys that were in the trash compactor scene, which I think was Buzz, Woody, and Aliens. I think were the only ones that
Okay, I
came in
didn't
that
have
set.
that one then. I don't know.
And it came with another version of Lotso. So I had 2
Yeah.
Lotsos. All of those are gone now.
Mhm.
I don't know where they are.
I still
and
have
as
my
someone, I
Lotso.
collect minifigures. That's my
Yeah.
thing. I'm so mad at myself for
The
like
unique ones like
all my
that.
SpongeBob ones and my Toy Story ones from
Yep.
when those were the big sets that they were selling to kids.
Yep.
And then I wasn't into Avatar when Avatar sets were a thing, which I'm
So you
kind of
got,
glad because
like,
have
those
you
two?
seen not the James Cameron Avatar, the Nickelodeon Avatar?
Yeah. They had two sets on.
They
them.
had
Yeah.
2 sets, and I was like, I kind of wish I was into Avatar enough to get those sets when I was a kid. And I look at the minifigures, I'm like, you know what?
Mm,
Have you seen
pass.
what those look like?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen-
Okay.
They're
Yeah.
they're-
There's a reason, like
That's
when
about
you
it.
go to Comic Cons, there'll be like custom Lego figures.
Yeah.
And like I saw one that was Luffy from One Piece. There was two. One of them I'm like, that's pretty cool, and it was just a minifigure that looked like Luffy, and the other had that like anime eyes thing on it where I'm like, I just
It doesn't.
the
rub me
heads are
right.
too small for that.
Yeah.
If
and
it
it's
was
just
like a large, if it was a Mega Bloks figure or something, I'd be
Yeah.
like, yeah, sure.
I'd
But
pass. But
yeah.
now that it's not, no,
anyway,
no. Should you get to our big thing for small talk?
yeah, big thing
Sorry,
for
bro.
small talk, Ayev.
So I went to Springfield Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
and we stopped at Come and Go, and I found anyone who knows me knows I'm a big Mountain Dew fan.
Yes.
I have Mountain Dew coursing through my blood at any given moment. Love it to death. I collect all the empty things, and I try to try every flavor. I found 3 seasonal July 4th ones that I didn't know existed. We will try right now. I haven't tried them yet. I've had them in cold in the fridge and stuff for days, and now I'm ready to try them. Somebody's got a cup here.
Yep.
We're gonna break one open,
Alrighty.
one at a time.
Probably won't be as ASMR. I'll probably cut out a lot of the silence.
Yeah.
So it's for, but
While we're getting it, the first one, there's a red one, there's a white one, there's a blue one for America. The first one is named Freedom Fusion, and its flavor is supposed to be lemonade and peach flavored.
lemonade and peach.
I don't like peach lemonade.
You don't like peach lemonade?
No.
See,
No, wait, I'm thinking of peach tea.
You're thinking of peach tea, yeah. Peach
I've never
lemonade
tried
might
peach
actually
lemonade.
be.
It might actually be good.
So
We're gonna pop this baby open real quick, and we're both gonna try it for the first time.
that tastes like a peach dum dum.
Yeah, it tastes like peach. Here's what I've realized. There's 2 flavors of Mountain Dew I legitimately do not like and stay away from. One of them is the fruitcake flavor, which that is an abomination, should never be made again. I took one sip and I dumped it out in the sink. The other is, it's not bottled, but it is a KFC Mountain Dew that I'm pretty sure is peach flavored, and I hate it.
And this tastes
I will
like that.
finish this to finish it,
Yeah.
but because it tastes a little bit better, I like the lemonade flavor because Spark, I love Spark, and that's the pink lemonade.
Like I said, it tastes like a peach dum dum. Like if anyone, you go to the doctor. Okay,
Yeah.
Trick or Treat and dentists are the only times I've ever had dum dums. I mean, I've probably like bought
No,
a
that's
big
fair.
bag for like, but like as a kid, before I was old enough to buy my own candy, I don't remember having dum dums unless it was going to the doctor or trick or treating.
Because you get it on special occasions.
Anyway,
This number 2 is the red one. It's called Star Spangled Splash. It's supposed to have a red berry flavor, which I don't know if that's just Code Red, but with a different name.
maybe
Or
yeah, because Code Red's just.
does it say red berry on Code Red?
I think so. I don't know.
Let
I'm
me-
not
let me
the
get this.
Mountain Dew. The most Mountain Dew I drink.
Okay.
The only Mountain Dew that I drink is usually the seasonal stuff. I Mountain Dew is not my favorite in the world.
And you'll find out this fall whenever we have Voodoo.
That's good there.
That's good.
And
Voodoo
honestly,
is the-
it's because like I drink a lot of soda. I drink a lot of I eat a lot of like Little Debbie's and stuff. But Mountain Dew to me is like it's like that is much more chemicals than it is like anything else.
He says that, and I will drink 4 cans a day if possible. I say if possible, if I wanted to. Immediate reaction, much better than, what is it, Freedom Fusion? I will down this if given a chance.
Yeah.
100%.
That just kind of tasted like a
Code
less.
Red with a little twang.
It's like
An alteration.
it's like if fruit punch was dull.
That's, yeah.
Like it's like a dulled down
This might
fruit
be the
punch.
fruit punch. Does Mountain Dew have a fruit punch flavor?
I think so.
I should know this.
I don't know.
Why are you dressing yourself
I did do research once about the different Mountain Dew flavors because it's actually kind of has like a weird history about it.
Oh, yeah.
So
This next one, the last one, the blue one, is called Liberty Chill. I just want to say, America. This is the one that's most interesting to me. We saved this one for last because it literally says on the bottle, 50 flavors in one dew.
Dr. Pepper has 23.
Mountain Dew is 50. And if they put one of each one and I taste that fruit quake,
So you're tasting it now. I took a drink, or not drink. I took a smell.
I want to take a smell first. I don't mind this.
It tastes like cough syrup.
It tastes like good cough syrup, though, to me. Then again, Mountain Dew has to try actively hard to make me hate it.
That is like I think you just tricked me into taking medicine.
Mine, I think it's pretty good.
It's cough syrup.
I can't drink the rest of this throughout the pod, or else I will be burping.
Yeah,
nonstop.
please. I can only you cut out so many burps and
You need to keep them-
sniffs.
That wasn't my fault.
I know. It's so we.
No, you
That's from another. So there was a laughing fit that I had to cut from the last episode, and so if anyone's like, "Man, Jay's sniffing a lot. What is this ASMR?" It's because Jay was like recovering from almost dying from
For how long? Was it 5
5
straight
minutes of just laughing.
You get me going hard, and you never know what's going to set me off with a laughing fit. You get me going, it is hard for me to stop. I was crying.
It was, man.
Oh.
It was like it was a bad laughing fit. Like his face was turning red. I'm like, man.
Right, should I just jump into corrections?
Yeah, go into a little bit of a.
Yep. I do have a little bit of a correction from last week. As I said, Firebrand had a limited release in theaters. I might have Googled the wrong synopsis somehow, and because this one's a lot more lengthier when I Googled it again. But it was the one about Catherine Parr and King Henry. The updated synopsis says, in Tudor England, Catherine Parr reluctantly agrees to become the sixth wife of the tyrannical King Henry VIII. Her consent to marry him carries great personal risk, given her predecessors are either vanquished, beheaded, or dead. Perceived as a threat by Henry's courtiers? I don't know how to say that. They start to cast doubts about her fidelity and turn the increasingly paranoid king against her. It was brought to our attention. We might have gotten some stuff wrong with that last synopsis.
Yeah.
But this is our attempt at correcting it.
I mean, to be fair about that, like you had so much to go through.
I did.
That
I did.
One,
And that was
synopsis.
earlier on in the week, and I'm like getting down as much as I possibly could. All right, so we're going to start with one music release that came out Friday, June 22nd. Gracie Abrams dropped her second album called The Secret of Us, which featured a song duet with Taylor Swift called Us. Very beautiful, and I almost cried the first time I heard it. TV, we don't have much that started. I mean, there's a lot, but it was worth noting. Sunday, June 16th, we got the season 2 premiere of House of the Dragon on HBO/Max. And that comes out weekly, I believe, for 10 episodes. Monday, June 17th, we got Cult Massacre, One Day in Jonestown, a new docuseries on Hulu. And I wrote that down because I'm a big true crime fan. And also Jonestown happened like a couple of days before, not my actual birthday, but like a couple of days after, I think. I think it's November 18th. My birthday's the 14th. So... And then Tuesday, June 18th, we got episode 4 of The Acolyte. It means we have the first half of the new Star Wars show. Amazing. Way step up from episode 3.
Step up from episode 3.
I was on the edge of my seat for the last 5 minutes.
Because I've heard people are kind of like episode 1. Maybe if the show's going to hook you, episode 1 will. If not, then episode 2 good, and episode 3 was like a dip down. And then I saw some people say, I had a friend tell me that episode 4 was kind of even more disappointing.
I don't think it was,
or that it might have given away too much for being a mystery.
For that, and I don't know. I'm excited for it because at this point, I don't know what's going to happen. Because a lot of what they show in the trailer is from episodes 1 through 4.
Okay.
And so now I'm like, you're already? What does this mean for the next half of the series? We got a couple movie releases this week. Thursday, June 20th, we got the release of Federer, 12 Final Days on Amazon Prime Video. It chronicles the final 12 days of Roger Federer's epic professional tennis career. On Netflix, we got Trigger Warning, released Friday, June 22nd. A skilled Special Forces commando, played by Jessica Alba, takes ownership of her father's bar after he suddenly dies and soon finds herself at odds with the violent gang running rampant in her hometown. We got The Exorcism, released in theaters that day, follows Anthony Miller, played by Russell Crowe, not to be confused with The Pope's Exorcist, which is, I've seen a meme on that, because he's like, what? Russell Crowe's in 2 different exorcism movies within a year? He's a troubled actor who begins to unravel while shooting a supernatural horror film. His estranged daughter, played by Ryan Simpkins, wonders if he's slipping back into his past addictions or if there's something more sinister at play.
What if one is just a behind-the-scenes film of the other?
That'd be genius. They're like...
Like, this is all a big marketing
movie
scheme.
and a movie and a movie.
Yeah.
Movieception, only it's Russell Crowe in exorcism movies. We also got Kinds of Kindness, the new Yorgos Lanthimos and Emma Stone team up. Its 3 stories revolve around a man who tries to take control of his own life, a policeman whose wife seems like a different person, and a woman who searches for someone with a special ability. I saw it's like an anthology. It was like 3 kind of like short films in one. We also got Thelma, released in theaters. June Squibb's first starring role in, 70 years? 70, around that?
I think so, something like that.
Thelma Post is a 93-year-old grandmother who loses $10,000 to a con artist on the phone. With help from a friend and his motorized scooter, she soon embarks on a treacherous journey across Los Angeles to reclaim what was taken from her, which sounds hilarious. It's getting really good reviews.
If you had not told me who starred in it and just gave me the synopsis, I would almost say, oh, is this a Melissa McCarthy movie?
Is this The Beekeeper, but with Melissa McCarthy?
playing like, you know, aged up with makeup. Because that's like when Melissa McCarthy was in like every other movie. That's like the kind
Heat,
of
Spy.
synopsis they would give her.
Actually, Spy
Yeah.
was pretty good.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
I'm excited to see that. I'm hoping to see it soon.
I'm very excited. It looks
We need to go see that
hilarious.
together.
Yeah.
The big release this week on Friday, June 22nd, was The Bike Riders, about a furious drama following the rise of a fictional 1960s Midwestern motorcycle club through the lives of its members. It says fictional. It's actually loosely based, or it's based on an actual motorcycle club from the late 60s, early 70s.
So is it more like an inspired
Chicago.
by, and
It's
then
inspired
the story
by.
itself is fictional?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was going up to see when I got the Mountain Dew.
Mhm.
We got to see, my family and I got tickets to a live stream Q&A early screening Wednesday on the 19th with a live stream Q&A with Austin Butler and Jodie Comer afterwards. And I really liked it. I really liked it. So Austin Butler, he doesn't have a lot of dialogue. It stars Austin Butler, Jodie Comer, and Tom Hardy. With Tom Hardy, his traditional weird voice, whatever he throws onto any role. But Austin Butler, he doesn't really change his voice, but also doesn't have a lot of dialogue, which it's kind of like Furiosa, where she only had 30 lines of dialogue, but like her presence is known. Like you can feel the presence through the movie. The main character I would say is Jodie Comer because she like narrates a lot of it, and a lot of the stuff was taken from like actual audio recordings of the guy who he's a character in it played by Mike Feist, who kind of followed the club for a couple years, and then came back like almost a decade later and interviewed Kathy, who's played by Jodie Comer in this, about the motorcycle club. And her voice in this, her Chicago voice from a very weird part of Chicago, is completely 180 from what she usually does, her Liverpool accent.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. I would definitely recommend going to see it. And that is all my releases for this week. You got some on your end?
Got me some game releases. On June 17th, we got a release of Baten Kaitos, I think is how it's pronounced. Said that like Hank Hill. Baten Kaitos. Baten Kaitos 1 and 2 HD was released on Steam. The collection's been out for a while, and this is like it's just coming to PC now.
Yeah.
June 18th, we have Still Wakes the Deep, a survival horror game about an electrician navigating an oil rig following a catastrophic event that released on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. That looked cool. On June 18th was also the release of Blood. It's stylized as #BLUD. It is a hand-drawn dungeon crawler game and like very old school Zelda inspired. Also inspired by 90s cartoons like Dexter's Lab,
Ooh.
Johnny Bravo, like that, like Cartoon Network, early Cartoon Network era. It's about a high school freshman who finds herself becoming a vampire slayer in her new home of Carpentersville. It released on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. I got it. I had it pre-ordered, so I got it day one.
Is that the one you played?
That's the one I've been playing this week. So good.
It sounds pretty
It's so funny, too.
good. And this is the hashtag Blood?
It's called #Blood. Or
Yeah.
I think it's just Blood, but it's
just Blood, but
stylized
it's
as
#Blood.
#Blood. The game is so funny. And the main villain, or one of the main villains, because there's kind of like two antagonists, and this isn't a spoiler because it's just in the trailer. So your pause menu is the interface for your phone app called Perch, which is basically just Twitter.
Yeah.
So all your side quests and your missions and stuff are kept track of as like posts by your friends on Twitter.
I love that.
And then you have your like,
Because they play into like the hashtag.
yeah, and so it plays into the hashtag thing. The main villain is the guy who owns that, it's Perch, Perch is basically Apple and Amazon as one company, but with like a Twitter flair to it.
Yeah.
And so the main villain
Elon Bezos.
his name is Jeff. I can't remember his last name, but his name is Jeff, like Jeff Bezos. And then he looks like Steve Jobs and he acts like Elon Musk.
And a little bit of each.
Anyway, and so there's like interactions with him where I won't give away, like there is a cutscene that I'm like, that wasn't in the trailer, so I won't say it. But there is an interaction with him early on in the game that you could have gotten in the demo, where you meet an NPC named Jeff, and when he adds you on Perch, the character you're playing as, Becky, is like, so why is your username weird? He goes, well, it was Jeff when I first got on here, but then the guy that ran the app took it off, and then that Jeff guy goes, yeah, no, I reserved all these spellings and alternate versions of Jeff because I can't have people making fun of me on my own platform. Anyway,
Oh
I'm
my
just
goodness.
so it's that kind of humor, but it's
Yeah.
also very much so. A cool thing about the history of it is that it was pitched as a cartoon series, like in 2017, 2016, something like that. And they just kept no one was interested in picking it up. So the team that worked on it was like, why don't we just make this a video game? And so then they worked on it for about 5 years, and
And out pops blood.
out pops blood, and it is so good. The
kinda wanna play that
animation
now.
is just so fluid. The backgrounds is what is the most. You
So
need to
good.
check it out.
Yeah.
It's very
I want
much.
to. It
It's
sounds
very
intriguing.
fun. I'll show you a trailer
Sounds like
later.
something right up my alley.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
just so funny. I know I keep saying that. It's just I have. There's so many laugh out loud moments with the dialogue. None of it is spoken. There's like gibberish where like when characters talk, it
Yeah,
sounds like
yeah.
in a cartoon series when they'll have someone talk on the like someone's talking on the other side of the phone, and it's like blah, 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 blah. That's
Yeah.
like. It's that. Moving on. June 19th released Echo Generation Midnight Edition. It's a definitive release of the 2021 game Echo Generation. It's a voxel style, which is basically like Imagine pixel art, but in 3D. RPG about kids in the 90s coming across supernatural events, released on all platforms. Moonstone Island, which we've talked about before, released on Switch. That's the one that it's basically Pokemon meets a farming sim. June 20th, Eric and the Ruined Kingdom, a relaxing puzzle game released on PC, more platforms to come. Chromatic Memories, a visual novel about grief, loss, and acceptance that follows a woman who can paint memories in the early 2000s, released on PC. I believe it's set in Spain. We also got the release of Crab God, a crab management game about cleaning the ocean. We
I
also
actually might like that game.
we also got Garten of Banban 1 through 4 released on Switch. We also got Tavern Talk, a fantasy tavern bartender game, which released on PC and Switch. I think I talked about that a couple weeks ago. The music,
remember it.
I don't know if the music in the trailer is music in the game, but it's very good, and the visual style is nice. And June 21st, Elden Ring: Shadow of Erdtree DLC released on all its available platforms. Times and Galaxy, a visual novel game about a newspaper intern in a sci-fi world, released on all platforms. And Dystopica, a city-building cyberpunk game released on PC.
We didn't have much posters come out this week, ironically, but we had like a lot more. I'd say 3 times as much trailers as we got posters today. We got a new poster for The Bear Season 3, I believe comes out next week on Hulu. We got a new international posters for Twisters. And we got a new poster for Long Legs, the new horror movie starring Nicolas Cage and I forget who else is in it, but there's like nothing known about it. We don't know who he's playing even. It looks terrifying, and I'm not going to watch it because I don't do horror that well. We got some new trailers for Smile 2, released on October 18th in theaters, I should say. A Real Pain, releasing on October 18th in theaters as well. And the first Nosferatu trailer is being released right now. It's being tagged onto the Bike Riders this weekend, exclusively on Bike Riders. That's the new remake with the guy who directed The Northman and The Lighthouse, and I don't forget his name.
You know,
Robert
of all
Eggers, I think.
SpongeBob characters to give their own movie.
Not Nosferatu.
I saw something there was like, I wonder how
Yes.
many kids legitimately are like, oh no, yeah, Nosferatu, the SpongeBob character.
And they see the posters like Lily Rose Depp with like a clawed shadow hand across her face.
Yeah.
They're like, that's not SpongeBob.
That's weird. Sandy looks a little weird.
Got a new trailer for The Front Room, releasing on September 6th in theaters. New trailer for The Beast Within, which I didn't find a for sure release date on that. The only one I found was, is it going to be shown at Fantasia Festival International de Films in Montreal on July 22nd. I think it's starring Kid Harington. From what I could tell, it's a new werewolf movie, which I actually might go see those because I do like werewolf stuff. We got a new trailer for Fly Me to the Moon. Not a full trailer, it's like a little snippet released on July 12th in theaters. That looks hilarious. We got some couple new release dates. Megalopolis, Francis Ford Coppola's new movie that he spent his own money on, finally got picked up by a company, Lionsgate, and it will release on September 27th in theaters. It was shown at Cannes to not great reviews. Jordan Peele revealed that his next Untitled movie will be released on October 23rd, 2026. As previously mentioned, Mike Flanagan's Exorcist movie got a release date of March 13th, 2026. The new Inside Out spinoff series about Dream Productions got a release window of spring 2025 on Disney Plus, which I guess either they're fast-tracked it or they've been working on it. We just don't know it.
So I've been thinking about this since we watched the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think the more interesting Inside Out spinoff would be just a show about Riley's day-to-day life and some
Yes.
kind of, situation. It would go back and forth between Riley and her friends and then the emotions.
Yeah.
I feel like that's much more interesting than
Dream
I feel like
Productions.
because the dream thing's probably just going to be whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
We'll see what it actually is, but like I don't know. You're gonna come up with a whole new like cast of characters? Maybe the unicorn comes back,
Yeah.
but like,
Maybe the clown a little bit. That's more of a nightmares. But
unless it's a workplace comedy about
a la
actors in a children's head ready to
yes,
act
that
out their
would be
dreams,
hilarious.
that would be hilarious.
That's kind of like Human Resources, the Big
Yeah.
Mouth spinoff, where it's like
kind of like that, where it's like, okay, no, that might be funny, but
Yeah.
just the concept you given me, I'm like, let me just see the emotions.
yeah,
Seeing
Just
Riley's
get
day-to-day
anger in
life
there
would
just
be so,
screaming at someone.
instead of making us wait another 10 years for Inside Out 3,
yeah.
which is
Which follows
probably
her.
going to happen.
Oh, it for sure is.
But
If we're getting Toy Story 5 in 2 years from like sometime this week,
yeah,
then
we're
getting
getting Inside Out 3, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Amy
basically
Poehler
confirmed.
is correct.
Yeah, she's gonna. Which I'm honestly down for more Inside Out movies.
Yeah.
They haven't missed yet. We got Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes alternate cut releases on July 9th on digital. The cut will include the entire movie. Only will show the original footage of actors in mocap suits, which honestly I would kill to see that. Because that sounds awesome. His Three Daughters releases on September 20th on Netflix. It stars Natasha Lyonne, Carrie Coon, and Elizabeth Olsen. Follows three estranged sisters reuniting to care for their ailing father. It was announced this week before one of your big talking points today. The Super Mario Brothers movie 2, Miyamoto surprise announced it is releasing on April 24th, 2026 in Japan. It was previously announced, I believe, on March 10th, Mario Day.
We don't actually know if it's Mario Brothers 2 or if
the sequel to.
he's just calling it a Super Mario Brothers film.
Oh,
So it could
So
be a
it's not just
Luigi's
2?
Mansion movie. It could be a Donkey Kong movie.
this Luigi's Mansion movie.
We don't know what it could be.
Okay, well,
Honestly,
just
I kind
this-
of hope it's Luigi's Mansion because Charlie Day deserves a little more Luigi time.
Yes, and you know I love Luigi's Mansion. That's where we discovered I am a very good gamer.
Christopher Lloyd as EGAD. Do it before that man
I
leaves
thought
us.
you wanted Martin Short.
You're right.
You told me Martin Short years ago.
Yes, never mind. Ignore that. Martin Short as EGAD. That is my vote.
You get someone that kind of sounds like Charlie Day to be Gooigi.
And Steve Martin as King Boo. Get Selena Gomez in there as Daisy,
It's Daisy,
and
yeah.
then you just take the
Murders.
cast of Only Murders and just give them Luigi's Man.
It would be funny if
The weirdest crossover.
Exactly. If Jane Lynch was like a little boo.
Only Boo's in the building.
We
We got a
got a new look this week on that.
Oh, yes.
New look as just a picture.
Now picture.
A
That's
picture.
it's a look.
Yeah. Which it doesn't really spoil anything. Have you finished season 3 yet?
I haven't finished season 3.
This Mountain Dew's got us kicked up today.
I
Oh
know
my
I haven't
goodness.
finished season 3 yet, but I'm in the middle of
In the
it.
middle of it. It doesn't really spoil anything, but I think it was believed it was on our first episode, they released a trailer for it, and it showed a lot of new cast members, including Eva Longoria, Eugene Levy, and Zach Galifianakis. And the picture was the three originals with those three, and they're dressed as each other. And so in the trailer, you said they go to Hollywood. And so Zach Galifianakis is playing Martin Short's character, Eugene Levy is playing Steve Martin's character, and Eva Longoria is playing Selena Gomez's character. Eugene Levy, I mean, they have the exact same costumes on. He looks exactly like Steve Martin in that, and it is so funny. It is so funny. I don't have that in my notes. I completely forgot about it until just
Man,
now.
if it wasn't for the eyebrows, we couldn't tell the difference.
Exactly. Yellowstone 5B. It will premiere on November 12th on Paramount, and it was confirmed by Kevin Costner himself he will not be returning because he wants to focus on his Horizon movies.
Mm-hmm.
We also got a release date for The Monkey, the Stephen King adaptation starring Theo James, Tatiana Maslany, and Elijah Wood. Releases on February 21st of next year.
Let's see here.
Your
We got me
miscellaneous?
some So I had two. Again, I had two gaming presentations. Some notes that aren't related to that. On June 17th, we got a first trailer for a Quiet Place video game, which is coming to PC and consoles. When we don't know when, but it's coming. On June 20th, we got a gameplay showcase for Dune Awakening, and then on June 20th, we also got a announcement for Gimmick 2. It is a sequel to a cult classic Nintendo game that a original copy of that sold for like 100,000 or something crazy like that. That game that is coming in. The sequel is coming in 2025. Also on June 20th, we had a release. This was after they accidentally leaked it. And so they just, and I don't know if they were planning on announcing it that same day or if they just went ahead and did it because the leak happened. But we did have an announcement for Beyond Good and Evil 20th Anniversary Edition, which is a re-release of the classic 2004 game Beyond Good and Evil, which is, I've never played it myself, but the things I've seen of it, it seems good. We've been waiting for a sequel / prequel for forever. That game is, I don't know when that's coming out.
Yeah.
But 20th Anniversary Edition of Beyond Good and Evil will release on June 25th with a physical release to follow on July 12th by Limited Run Games, I believe. So that's probably like, I don't know how many copies that, so get that while you can. It comes with new treasure hunt mode, support for up to 60 frames per second, a reorchestrated soundtrack, and more for all platforms.
We got some first looks this week. We got a first look at The Life of Chuck. Let's first look at Tom Hiddleston's character. Mike Flanagan is directing and is also starring Mark Hamill, Karen Gillan, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Matthew Lillard, and Jacob Tremblay, who, by the way, graduated from high school this week. We got a first look at the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, the Game of Thrones spinoff releasing next year on HBO. We also got a first look at The Killer, John Woo's remake of his own film, releasing on October 23rd on Peacock. We got a couple new announcements. It was officially confirmed by Sony that Uncharted 2 is in the works, which, if they follow from that post-credit scene and they have the events of the first game, have you finished the first game?
I have not, because I was playing it with my dad, and then we just kind of got to where we're not able to. Like, next time we play, I have to reinstall it because it's been that long since we played it. So
yeah, Uncharted is, if people ask me what my favorite video game is, I say Uncharted, and by that there's a little asterisk next to it. I mean the entire series.
Yeah, like the Nathan Drake collection.
Yeah, even the Lost Legacy. Like, those 5 are like my favorite video games.
That is the only one I don't own. I almost bought it.
I'll let you borrow it.
Oh, yeah.
I have it on, I think it's on PS4.
On PS4?
Yeah, physical copy. Yeah. We got an animated Everybody Hates Chris revival moving forward with Chris Rock, Terry Crews, and Tachina Arnold will return as voice roles. Will Smith will star in Sony's new sci-fi thriller called Resistor. Follows the discovery of a device that can reflect gravity, but those who discover it are thrown into prison after they refuse to suppress the truth of its discovery. It was announced that Lethal Weapon 5 is moving forward with Mel Gibson returning to direct. Spaceballs 2 is in the works with Mel Brooks and Josh Gad. A RIP was announced with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck will star together. New crime thriller, Joe Carnahan set to direct. We got a new Megan spinoff announced called Soulmate with the A. It's all in all caps, and the A in mate is replaced with an 8. It's releasing on January 2nd, 2026 in theaters. Follows a man who acquires an android to cope with the loss of his recently deceased wife. A St. Elmo's Fire sequel is being considered at Sony with the original cast returning. Live action Totally Spies series was announced. It will release on Amazon Prime Video, and Will Ferrell is executive producing it. I haven't seen that show, but like,
that is an odd choice.
Will Ferrell, yeah, it doesn't seem.
I would say Will Ferrell and Totally Spies are like something I'm like, really? Now, if he's playing Jerry, I know he's just executive producing it, but if he's playing Jerry, that might actually be really funny. But. Yeah.
We got, and they announced the Real Housewives inspired murder mystery movie starring Jennifer Lawrence and produced by A24 and Apple was announced this week. And that is all my new announcements and first looks for this week. Now on to
my big talking points.
Dogs.
A lot of this is going to be, so if people are like, oh, why is he explaining so many things people know? It's because Jay might not know this. I don't know like a lot. And also, I just like to talk. So,
hence, we have the podcast.
We had the Games Baked in Germany showcase. It's a lot like the showcase, like the indie game showcases I talked about the last couple weeks. This showed off quite a few indie games that are made by teams in Germany. This includes the gameplay release trailer of Tavern Talk, which we talked about earlier. We also got early gameplay showcase for the first-person horror game Industria 2. We got gameplay of Starbirds, a planet farming game, coming in 2025. We got gameplay trailer for an open-world survival craft game, Solarpunk, set on floating islands. Closed alpha starts in 2024. We got a trailer for Cyberpunk first-person adventure game, Nivalis, comes spring 2025. That looks like you're running a store, but you're also like traveling around town, and
Yeah.
I couldn't quite pick up what the whole the main gameplay point was. We also got new content coming to Sticky Business, a sticker making game. We got an announcement trailer for a city building game, Industry Giant 4.0, coming to early access 2024. A trailer for island exploration crafting game with a plane flying gameplay called Lose Lagoon. We got a trailer for Commandos Origins coming in 2024. We got an early access trailer for Endzone 2 coming this summer. Highway Patrol expansion trailer for Police Simulator Patrol Officers, which is out now. We got a trailer for Super Fantasy Kingdom, a pixel-style horde survival game coming Q1 2025. I'm going to get a demo trailer for We Stay Behind.
Yeah.
We got a trailer for Fantasy Town Building game, Fata Diem, coming 2024. We got a expansion trailer for Tropico 6 Tropican Shores, a tropical resort building game, I think is what it is. That's out now. We got a trailer for a top-down action survival game, Thronefall, coming in 2024. We got a trailer for a first-person shooter game set on an island with dinosaurs called Ferocious. Update and expansion trailer for X4 Timelines. That's out now. We got the Paris City update for the pixel post-apocalyptic action game Death Trash coming soon. We got an announcement trailer for The Berlin Apartment, a game about the lives of various people who lived in the same apartment throughout the years. And the trailer looks so good because one trailer is like a person sitting there and then a bombing happens, and then another trailer is just someone going around watering their plants.
It's in World War II.
I think part of it's set in World War II, and then part of it's just this apartment in Berlin throughout history.
Okay,
and you're living different people's lives. That looked really interesting. We got a trailer for an action sci-fi game, Morbid Metal, and we got a trailer for PVKK. I have no idea what the game was supposed to be, and PVKK is a shortening made by the developers because the actual name of the game is a long German word that I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce.
You got to pick your battles.
It was very long, and like half a tweet long. I'm kidding. It was just very long. On June 18th, though, we had the Nintendo Direct. I am a Nintendo fanboy, so if people are like, he doesn't talk about the other games as much as he does Nintendo stuff, it's because that's just...
You chose to listen to it.
It's my bread and butter. So, story time.
I've stayed away from a lot of these
Have you heard
reveals.
me talk about the Mario and Luigi games?
Mm-mm.
So, there's Paper Mario, which is, a Mario RPG series. There's also another Mario RPG series that was only on handheld. From the Game Boy to the 3DS, it was 5 games and 2 remakes by Alpha Dream. Alpha Dream went bankrupt in 2019 after the 2 remakes didn't quite sell well, and a bunch of other factors. They shut down, but Nintendo still owned the Mario and Luigi series because they own Mario and Luigi, but they never did anything with it. We haven't got a new game from them since 2016, and we haven't. And then there was a remake in 2019. Nintendo opened the Direct with Mario and Luigi Brothership, which is the first completely 3D game in the series and the first home console game in the series.
I saw like a picture of it, and it looks...
Like I said, it's the first new game in the series since 2016's Paper Jam. It releases November 7th, 2024. It looks really good, and it's about, all we've gotten told is that Mario and Luigi get on this island that's shaped like a ship, and they go around to other islands and go on adventures. And it seems like because every game kind of has a theme to what it's like new characters they introduce. The first game set in the Bean Bean Kingdom, so a lot of the areas and the characters you introduce to are very Bean themed.
Yeah.
The second game was time traveling, so it was just young and old versions of Mario characters, different things like that. Like there's one game where it's like it's sleep themed, so a lot of the characters like they had pillows for heads and things like that.
Yeah.
So this one seems to be
Pirate?
not pirate, outlet and chords. Like the main villains you fight, that it seems like they're like the lackeys of the main villain, call themselves the Extension Cores. They're a part of the Extension Core, and they look like they're made of wires and stuff.
Yeah.
And the NPCs you talk to have like outlets for faces. We also got shown Nintendo World Championships NES Edition trailer, gave a look at new online competitive mode where you compete in challenges against other players' ghost data. So basically they complete the challenges and then you just compete against a recording of that challenge, more or less. That releases July 18th with a special edition. Announcement trailer for Fairy Tail 2, the sequel to the RPG game based on the anime of the same name, developed by Koei Tecmo, releases 2024. We got a trailer for Fantasian Neo Dimension. It's an RPG from Final Fantasy creator Hironobu Sakaguchi. It was an Apple Arcade exclusive. It's now coming to Nintendo Switch with new additions such as voice acting. It releases this holiday. We also got a free update being added to Nintendo Switch Sports and Basketball. Comes summer 2024. Announcement trailer for Mio, Memories in Orbit, a Metroidvania game by Dow's Diximes. It releases 2025. It has this colored pencil watercolor aesthetic.
Yeah.
We also got a free update for Disney Illusion Island titled Mystery and Monoth. It's a new story update. It was shadow dropped on June 18th. We got a trailer for Hello Kitty Island Adventure. It's basically Animal Crossing with Hello Kitty. It was an Apple Arcade exclusive as well. It is now coming to other consoles in 2025 and a timed exclusive for Switch, so it's coming to Switch first. We also got an announcement trailer for Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports, a sports compilation game with Looney Tunes characters coming this fall. It is being published by Game Mill Entertainment. We also got a new update for Among Us. It shadow dropped on June 18th with new rules for crewmates and imposters. There's Tracker, where you can place a tracker on somebody. Noisemaker, your body makes a noise when you die. And Phantom, which allows you as a killer to turn invisible.
And
So
then when did that drop?
that June 18th.
So it's active
So
now.
the thing about that trailer is it was accidentally posted a week early, which is why most people are like, oh, so the Nintendo Switch or Nintendo Direct's June 18th, isn't it?
That's right. You told me
That's
about
what I was
that.
telling you about, where it was like, hey, this might be this day. Anyway, we got an announcement trailer for Farmasia, a monster farming RPG. It has character designs by Fairy Tail creator Hiro Mishima. It releases November 1st, 2024. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD was announced. It is an HD port of the classic Wii title coming to Switch January 16th, 2024. We also got a new trailer for Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. I mentioned before that we've been waiting a long time for this game.
Yeah.
Like, they announced it a couple years ago and we heard nothing. They showed off new visuals for the remake and announced that Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake, which is just the first two games in the series, is releasing in 2025. The creator of the series explained that in chronological order, it's 3, 1, 2.
So
So,
it's like a prequel.
so 3 was a prequel to the first two games. So they made 3 first because it's the most popular
Yeah.
of the retro.
Yeah.
3 HD 2D Remake releases on November 14th, 2024, a week after Mario and Luigi, I might add. I'm happy they're coming out, but also sad that they're so close together because money. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake releases in 2025. Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D Remake will release a special edition with a collectible game case storage box that looks like a leather book. It can hold 2 game cases, which probably means it's meant to hold the other, like 1 and 2 when it comes out.
Yeah.
22 character and monster acrylic figures, like little flat blocks.
Yeah.
In-game items, which is a strength ring, a dragon scale, words of wisdom, and cat suit, and exclusive digital wallpapers and a healing item pre-order pack, and their special edition will be $199.99. As opposed to the normal edition, which is just $59.99.
Yeah.
We got a trailer for the Switch version of Funko Fusion, which releases September 13th. We also got trailers for Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, releasing June 27th.
Yes, I need to play that.
We got a trailer for New Denpa-Men, a free-to-play RPG with customizable islands, launching as a timed exclusive to Switch, July 22nd. We also got Metal Slug Attack Reloaded, a side-scrolling RPG tactics game that launched same day, June 18th. We got Darkest Dungeon 2, a roguelike turn-based RPG releasing July 15th. On Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pack, we got The Link to the Past and Four Swords Game Boy Advance game, which we've talked about before.
This Four Swords is the one that I did not like.
Yeah.
Okay.
That and Metroid Zero Mission, which is a remake of the first Metroid game on NES, is coming to the GBA on Nintendo Switch Online that shadow dropped June 18th. We also got the Nintendo 64 Mature app, which includes Nintendo 64 M-rated games. This was added same day, June 18th, with the games Turok and Perfect Dark. We also got the announcement trailer for Phantom Brave: The Lost Hero, a tactical RPG about a girl who can recruit ghosts. It releases in 2025. We also got, so this is another story time, Marvel vs. Capcom. I'm sure you've heard of those games.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is considered the best game. And Marvel vs. Capcom also has a very turbulent history where the games are very, very popular up until the game 3 was good, but a lot of people had a little few issues with it, and then Infinite came out, and that was just a absolute dumpster fire. And eventually licensing issues happened, and Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and a bunch of the other Marvel vs. Capcom games were delisted. They announced, so for, I think a few years ago, there was a YouTuber named Maximilian Dood. He's a streamer YouTuber. Maximilian Dood. He made a movement go viral of free Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And then years later, we get the announcement for Marvel vs. Capcom Arcade Fighting Collection, with 7 classic Marvel vs. Capcom arcade games, including X-Men Children of the Atom, which is just an X-Men only fighting game, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 New Age of Heroes, and The Punisher, which is a beat 'em up. This releases in 2024. It's huge that we're getting this because we were basically told, no, that this isn't ever happening because licensing issues are too. We also got the announcement for Mario Party Jamboree, or Super Mario Party Jamboree, which releases October 17th, 2024. It has been called the biggest Mario Party ever, with 110 minigames, some of which are motion controls, which can be turned off, they said. 7 boards, 5 new, 2 old, which isn't the most boards we've had. I think 10 is the most, but it's the most we've had in a long time. Also has a 20-player online mode with even more modes teased and 20 to 21 playable characters. We also got the announcement for The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. It is the next 2D Zelda game with a twist. You play as Princess Zelda. Link and others across Hyrule are swept away by dimensional rifts around the land, and armed with a staff called the Tri-Rod given to her by the fairy Tri, Zelda sets out to stop the rifts and rescue Link. The gameplay involves copying and summoning items and enemies around the kingdom to solve puzzles and resolve combat. It releases September 26th alongside a golden Zelda-themed Nintendo Switch Lite. It looks very, very good. So Tears of the Kingdom, which you've heard of, has a very, and we'll talk about this later when we get to the tier list, it has a very, we are giving you tools to solve the puzzles the way you want, which Zelda, it wasn't before. Zelda's very been much like you have one solution, you just got to find it.
Yeah.
And so Tears of the Kingdom kind of focus a little more on just solving it the way you want. This seems to be doing that, but in 2D Zelda, which seems pretty cool. I'm very excited for that. That is also the same month as the Deku Tree Lego set.
Yes.
So that's just a big, September's just a big Zelda month. We also got trailers for Just Dance 2025 releasing October 2024. We got Lego Horizon Adventures releasing holiday 2024. A Switch port of the game Stray coming holiday 2024.
Have you played that yet?
I have not played it yet, but
I would get it because I loved it. It's amazing
I might get it on another console. It looks like it's gonna be running fine on Switch, but I'm gonna get it for the I think PS4 is what it was originally made for, right?
Yeah,
anyway.
That's what it dropped. I got it for that, and I played it I got it day of, and I loved it. I remember when it was like a concept, and I saw the video of it years ago, and I loved it. I loved it. I think you'd like it too.
We also got a trailer for Tales of the Shire, a Lord of the Rings game coming holiday 2024. It's basically a life farming sim game, but you play as a hobbit. We got an announcement trailer for Ace Attorney Investigations Collection, a 2-game collection of the Investigations spin-off titles in the Ace Attorney series, including Investigations 2, Prosecutor's Gambit, which was never released outside of Japan. Ace Attorney Investigations Collection comes September 6th, 2024. We also got the announcement trailer for The 100-Line Last Defense Academy, a tactics RPG about a boy who survives a demon invasion and joins fellow students in a school to learn how to combat the threat. It was created by Danganronpa series writer Kazutaka Kodaka, who took out a loan to fund the game. It releases early 2025. We also got the announcement trailer for Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven. It's a remake. Releases October 24th, 2024. We also got the final trailer, another story time. So Metroid Prime 3 came out in 2007, and then they did a re-release of the first 3 games, Metroid Prime 1 through 3 on Wii in 2009. And we got Metroid Prime Remastered last February. Not February of this year, but February before. So it's been a while since we've got a new Metroid Prime game. When the Switch was announced in late 2016, early 2017, when they did the full reveal, They announced Metroid Prime 4 was in development. And then 2 years later in 2019, they said, we're restarting development. Then we heard nothing. So it was 5 years of like, where is this game? Is this game doing okay? We finally got a trailer for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Nice.
It looks gorgeous. Looks really good. It releases in 2025.
We got a new segment we're starting this week. As of course we've been missing from our past couple of weeks, but we usually do anniversaries. We are going to start doing celebrity birthdays as well from this past week. June 16th, there wasn't much, but we got Adam Ray, comedian known for his Dr. Phil impression. Have you seen his?
Yeah.
I love him so much. He turned 42. June 17th, we got Kendrick Lamar, the rapper known for his diss tracks and the Black Panther soundtracks, amongst other things, turned 36. And Will Forte, comedian actor, turned 40. He's from SNL. And on June 18th, Paul McCartney, Beatles artist, turned 81. Oh, a new trailer dropped this week, The Carpenter. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
John Holbeck, our local
the indie film that you're in. Yeah.
I'm in. I played... So it comes out sometime this year or sometime soon. It's about an alternate history where like Paul McCartney died and then he was like replaced by someone, and then John Lennon, and I play John David Chapman, who shot John Lennon. I dyed my hair black for it, and I completely clean shaven for the first time since early high school probably. It was a very good time shooting it. I'm very excited for it to watch it. Blake Shelton, the country star and former The Voice coach, turned 47 on June 18th, and Richard Madden, actor from Game of Thrones and Eternals, amongst other things, turned 37. June 19th, we got Courtney Miller. You know her from Smosh. She turned 28. Zoe Saldana, actress of Guardians of the Galaxy and Avatar fame. She turned 45 June 19th. And Paul Dano, actor of Prisoners, The Batman, and There Will Be Blood, turned 39 on June 19th. Thursday, June 20th, we got Nicole Kidman, turned 56. You know her from Eyes Wide Shut, Big Little Lies, and the AMC ads. Lionel Richie, R&B singer, turned 74. And John Goodman, actor of Roseanne, Monsters, Inc., and The Big Lebowski, these are all amongst other things.
Yeah, amongst many others, yeah.
It goes without saying. Turned 71.
MSU alum.
Thursday. He's right. He is from Missouri.
Yeah.
June 21st, Lana Del Rey, the singer, turned 38. And my boy, Chris Pratt, you know him from Parks and Recreation, the Lego Movie, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Jurassic World, and The Magnificent Seven, Passengers, Garfield, Super Mario Brothers, The Kid.
We could go through his whole IMDb page because it's saved in your brain.
Exactly.
But we
could
don't have
list
to.
those off the top of my head. The OC. He turned 44, June 21st, 1979. June 22nd, today we got Cyndi Lauper, turned 70. Meryl Streep, she turned 74. And Bruce Campbell of Evil Dead fame turned 65.
It's the return of This Week in History.
Yes.
On June 16th, we have the 46th anniversary of Grease, the 22nd anniversary of Lilo and Stitch, the 35th anniversary of Ghostbusters 2, and the 15th anniversary of Ghostbusters the video game. On June 17th, we have the 25th anniversary of Big Daddy with Adam Sandler, the 13th anniversary of Green Lantern, 36th anniversary of The Great Outdoors, and the 20th anniversary of Silent Hill 4, The Room. June 18th is the 14th anniversary of Toy Story 3, the 20th anniversary of Dodgeball, the 20th anniversary of The Terminal, and the 5th anniversary of Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. June 19th was the 9th anniversary of Inside Out, the 15th anniversary of The Proposal. We also have the 32nd anniversary of Batman Returns, the 41st anniversary of Dragon's Lair, which is an animated like arcade game. It was animated by Don Bluth. And June 19th is also the 4th anniversary of The Last of Us Part 2. June 20th was the 16th anniversary of Camp Rock, the 49th anniversary of Jaws, and the 44th anniversary of Blues Brothers. June 21st was the 39th anniversary of Return to Oz, the Disney movie. It was also the 58th anniversary of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, and the 8th anniversary of Mighty Number 9. June 22nd is the 40th anniversary of Karate Kid. And then it is also the 36th anniversary of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and the 6th anniversary of Mario Tennis Aces.
We got a couple new casting, not a lot. Beef Season 2 will feature Oscar Isaac and Carey Mulligan as a couple. It was originally envisioned as Jake Gyllenhaal and Anne Hathaway, but they didn't work out. And the Wizards of Waverly Place revival, which I forget the title of that. It didn't say. David DeLuise will return as Jerry Russo. Sunday, we got the 77th Annual Tony Awards, honoring plays and musicals, of course, anything on and off Broadway. And the plays, Stereophonic won Best Play, Best Featured Actor in a Play for Will Brill, Best Direction, Best Scenic Design of a Play, Best Sound Design of a Play. And Enemy of the People, Jeremy Strong won for Best Lead Actor in a Play. Pearly Victorious, a non-Confederate romp through the cotton patch, won Best Featured Actress in a Play for Carrie Young. Appropriate won Best Revival of a Play, Best Lighting Design of a Play, and Sarah Paulson won Best Lead Actress in a Play. Jaja's African Hair Braiding won Best Costume Design of a Play. Suffs won Best Original Score Written for the Theater, and Merrily We Roll Along won Best Orchestration. On the musical side, just the musical side, The Outsiders won Best Direction, Best Lighting Design for a Musical, Best Sound Design of a Musical, and Best Musical. And as featured, the two actors that won for musicals, Merrily We Roll Along, Daniel Radcliffe won Best Featured Actor in a Musical, and Jonathan Groff won Best Lead Actor in a Musical. It also won Best Revival of a Musical, and also saw, I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong about this, they're going to release a filmed recording of it. Of Merrily We Roll Along.
Cool.
So I'm probably going to watch that. Hell's Kitchen won Best Featured Actress in a Musical for Keisha Lewis, as well as Best Lead Actress in a Musical for Malaya Joy Moon. I apologize if I butchered that name. Suffs won Best Book of a Musical. The Great Gatsby won Best Costume Design for a Musical. Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club won Best Scenic Design of a Musical. And Illinois won Best Choreography. And that's all the Tonys happened. It was, honestly forgot it was happening until I thought, I was like, oh, this is pretty interesting.
Yeah, I forgot it was happening too until my sister was like, hey, can you tell me who won such and such? Or I think I saw Discussing Film announced that Daniel Radcliffe had won an award. And anyway.
1 quarter away from EGOT.
Alrighty, on to anime and comics news. Not a whole lot this week. Pharmasia, which is the game I was talking about earlier, is getting an anime adaptation. And on June 19th, we got the first trailer for the Oshi no Ko live-action adaptation series. A film is coming to theaters in Japan on December 20th, and the TV series will be coming on Amazon Prime Video November 28th. And then we also got the intro to the Suicide Squad Isekai anime. As for comics, I have 1 point. Marvel announced a new Blade series. Blade Red Band announced for Marvel's Mature Prints. First issue comes October 2024. It is now the Venom / Deadpool Wolverine, where we've announced, I think this
Blade?
is, yeah, this has gone on a long streak of being brought up over and over again. But yeah, pretty cool that he's getting it, that a series, at least a comic series is getting to come out.
Yeah, before the movie.
So
Speaking of the movie, on my part, welcome back to Blade Corner. Mia Goth was set to star as Lilith in the previous script, but she's still on to star in the movie. And also, week 6 of Deadpool and Wolverine updates. We got a new look, which featured some Wolverine stuff. We got a new look at Dogpool. Mm-hmm. And it was also announced that the film is complete and ready for release. Sean Levy also said he's wanting to make a Deadpool and Spider-Man film, and he said, quote, I feel like Tom Holland would run circles around everyone else. Some new information on Daredevil Born Again from Charlie Cox. He teased a couple of one-shot fight sequences, saying, those quote, those fans who are excited by Oneers will not be disappointed, which I love. I love me some Daredevil action scenes. Avengers 5, Benedict Cumberbatch confirms he will return. He's the first character to be confirmed returning in the movie.
Not surprising, because like after Tony Stark and Steve Rogers and stuff, Doctor Strange is, I think, the person that the character that founds the Young Avengers.
But he said filming is set to begin next year, which I don't know if they ever. I know Destin Daniel Cretton at one point from Shang-Chi was brought on to direct. I don't know if that was ever confirmed or if he's still on it or not. But it's not the Kang Dynasty anymore. The Fantastic Four, Eben Moss Bachrach, says his training to play the Thing consists of looking at rocks. I saw that today, and I'm like, I need to add this in. We got some DC news. The new animated Kite Man show releases on July 18th on Max, and it was announced today it will be Lance Reddick's final series.
Playing, or
reportedly playing Lex Luthor. Which Peacemaker Season 2, it was announced, will feature a new opening dance number. Superman, the kickoff movie of the DCU. Chris Pratt visited the set this week, which I'm probably not going to have a role, but I just threw it in there because. And James Gunn confirmed he won't be attending San Diego Comic-Con this year, as he will still be filming it. The Penguin, the spinoff of the Batman, Matt Reeves' The Batman, got a new poster and then a new trailer, and it's releasing on September on Max. It still doesn't have a for sure release date. And we also got the first trailer and first look for the animated series Batman Caped Crusader.
Yes.
Releasing on August 1st on Amazon Prime Video. And let me just throw a little bit of the cast.
All
You probably know
episodes
about
that
cast.
I will say
All-
before
is
we get
all
into the
episodes
cast,
at
it's
once?
all episodes at once, which I don't agree with. I think it needs to
Amazon
be.
does that a lot, though.
They didn't do that with Critical Role though, which is
Yeah.
you know.
And,
So
like, I think Mr. and Mrs. Smith didn't do that, too.
I feel
and
like
I know
I
the
feel
other
like
spy
Batman
show.
deserves a weekly release. Get people. I mean, we've got
Especially since
Smiling
Caped
Friends.
Crusader.
We've got Acolyte. We've got all these shows that are doing like weekly releases, and it's getting people to talk about it. So
Yeah.
I really hope that this being released all at once
But then you also got
doesn't
Fallout
harm it.
released all at once. And it was
True.
very, very
It was so.
talked about.
But I am very excited. The character because the trailer had the first look at the voice for the Batman.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
And this is this is not all of them that were announcing that. These are some of like the big ones. Christina Ricci, Jamie Chung, Diedrich Bader, McKenna Grace, David Krumholtz, Haley Joel Osment, and Minnie Driver were in it. Did they say who they were all playing? Because I know at the end it had
No,
like 5
we
characters.
know
so, like,
who Harley is playing. We know who's being played by. We know who Harley is being voiced by, and we know
Is
who's
it
voicing Batman.
Is it McKenna Grace?
No,
Who's playing Harley?
Harley is. Okay, so here it is. I'll just read this. So this is Variety. We're adding this to our list of
Yeah.
list of sources.
Does it have everyone?
Characters set to appear in the show include Selena Kyle / Catwoman, Christina Ricci, Harley Quinn, voiced by Jamie Chung,
Okay.
and Harvey Dent and Two-Face, voiced by Diedrich Bader.
And Batman, Hamish Linklater, he plays a lot of Mike Flanagan stuff. His voice in that, I was like, oh,
Yeah, it's gonna be.
that's very good.
It's gonna be very good.
And when they cut to him, like the ending of like him and the actual recording, he's like, "And I'm Batman." It's like, ooh.
yeah, pretty good. You know,
Oh,
nothing,
yeah.
nothing's gonna
Oh,
beat
yeah.
Kevin Conroy.
No,
but you know,
But
I'm just very excited for this.
yeah.
Obviously, Batman's one of my favorite heroes, and his animated stuff is just
it's so good.
so good.
And there's a reason like why Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill are as iconic as they are
yeah.
as Batman and
As
Joker.
well as like just so many of like that whole
Yeah.
universe is what most people, especially people our age and like a little older,
Think of animated
when they
Batman
think of Batman in general, they think
Yeah.
of that Batman, or when
when
they
you
think
think
of
of-
Superman,
Yeah.
the Tim Daly Superman,
Mm-hmm.
or who and George Newbern, they both voiced because Tim Daly stepped away, and then George Newbern voiced him
Came back.
for the rest of the franchises. Anyway,
Yeah.
I could talk about
It's
this
so good.
show for an entire episode's worth. We need
It
to
looks
move
so
on.
good. That August episode is going to be good.
Yeah.
As usual, we're going to end our news portion of the episode with celebrity deaths. We got a couple. Hiram Caston, he was a New York comedian and Seinfeld actor. He was 71, passed away this week. Anouk Amy, La Dolce Vita and a Man and a Woman actress, was 92. She passed away. Ryan Hadley, 46. He was a star on Ink Master, the show. He passed away. Nancy McKenzie, she was 81. She was a Latin American dub voice of Marge Simpson, obviously from The Simpsons,
Mm-hmm.
and Leela from Futurama, and she also dubbed over Bette Midler, amongst many other things.
And many other things. She is
Many other things.
very, very like
Big in the community.
so.
But yeah, that's just some of her big ones. And then Donald Sutherland, who's 88, passed away this week. You know, from the MASH, the movie,
Mhm.
and the Hunger Games franchise. I feel like people in this,
And
our
our
age
target
will be
audience,
like
yeah,
the Hunger Games.
yeah, Hunger Games,
President
Snow.
Snow.
But like, I mean,
Yeah, there's so much more. And then my sources this week are Movie Insider, Deadline, Famous Birthdays, Collider, at Cinegeek News, CBS News, at Total Film, Variety, Games Radar, Hollywood Reporter, The Insider, Puck, Entertainment Weekly, The Times, IGN, and at The Daily Show.
my sources this week are discussing film, IGN, Variety, comicbook.com, Nintendo Everything, GameFile News, Eurogamer, and the official sites and socials. Thank you to
Conclusion.
all our sources.
Yes.
We are going to move on to the final episode for our Zelda tier list. Jay is going to be ranking 9 games this week instead of 8 because there was just one extra one that we needed.
And then I'm going to be told how wrong I am.
A preface. Or a preface. It's so late. My brain is. A preface to this is so Skyward Sword HD and Twilight Princess HD were accidentally omitted from this. Part of it, I know I mentioned earlier, like there's some re-releases they didn't include.
Got Skyward Sword, is that the one with the dude?
Yeah, Skyward
Yeah, let's
Sword.
not-
The HD version only added a couple quality of life things, so I didn't include it. And Twilight Princess was kind of the same way. But I did want to address it where it was like I actually meant to include Twilight Princess HD, but because it added a lot more than I remember, and then I ended up not. So I do apologize for that. So this week we are starting with the original Legend of Zelda on NES. Let me get down to it. So many slides. 58 screenshots, if anyone wants to know how many screenshots I've been saving for Jay.
Some of which traumatizing.
Yeah, some of which have definitely traumatized you.
Very traumatizing.
Best content we could have asked for, though.
Exactly. I said it's a shark
Why
so many
is that?
times.
That shouldn't be there yet. What I'm showing you is The Legend of Zelda on NES. So it is the original. I'll just show you both screenshots at once because I'm not going to go in presentation mode.
Yeah.
And you go around, you just get dropped in the game. Like the game doesn't tell you where to go. You have to kind of like follow your instinct. And so it was very much one of those like schoolyard games where if you didn't know what to do, you probably learned from a friend in the schoolyard kind of thing. That's definitely how I learned how to beat it because I had it. There was a re-released version of it somewhere, and I wasn't savvy enough to go. I'll look up a walkthrough online. So I just asked friends about it. Anyway, it's a classic for a reason. There's a reason this franchise continued on. You just top down, you get your sword. When you are at full health, your sword shoots out a laser that can shoot in front of you.
Okay, that put it up a bit.
So there is a little bit of a range combat thing that not a lot of the games really do anymore. And it was very much a game where it's like, okay, I need to make notes to remember. Oh, I need do this later.
And do this where. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna say. Oh, I'm so terrified right now.
I will say, like, it is the original.
Yeah.
So there are definitely games that have one-upped it since then. But I'll let you rank it as you please.
See?
See? Okay.
I'm so scared
We'll
right
wait and
now.
see.
My mouth opened like a tulip.
I'll be honest, as far as people's opinions when I'm done telling you how well, I might have to wait till next week so I can do a little research and let you know.
About
There's some things
your gut.
there's some things I can tell you right now, but like I couldn't tell you.
But your gut is, am I like way off on a lot of them right now? Or am I like kind of?
All right, so after that we have Tears of the Kingdom.
I know a little bit about this one.
So this one is a direct sequel to Breath of the Wild. The added thing being, there are now islands in the sky and caves. And then the story is Zelda has been... you and Zelda are like under Hyrule Castle looking at something. I say you like Link and Zelda. And they find this like corpse that's just standing like with this glowing hand forcing it down, and its neck turns and it looks at you and its eyes start glowing. And then suddenly when Link goes to use the Master Sword against him, it shatters. And then Link's hand starts to like... I can't remember if it's actually cut off or what, but Link loses his arm and then wakes up and he has a new arm that gives him new abilities that include you basically build whatever you want. You can build cars and flying machines and stuff, as well as other things like getting to jump through ceilings, and it completely replaces all your abilities from the last game with these new ones. This is what the game looks like. That's the sky, and that's the caves. What's this here is you do get like companions that you can summon that help you fight, that are part of the story. A lot of the story is actually kind of a spoiler thing. I can't tell you a lot of the story because a side quest is finding the story for yourself.
Yeah.
So, but
I'm gonna say A.
Say A.
I'm gonna say just a tiny step down from the first one.
Step down for the first one. Alrighty.
Although getting your arm chopped off reminds me of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So that gives it a plus in my mind.
So after that, we have Triforce Heroes, which is a 3DS game. And what it is, it's a multiplayer game where you play online with other people, and there's 3 Links in a party, and you have to go around and communicate with each other to get through these dungeons. Link had unlockable costumes. You stack on top of each other like a totem pole.
Yeah.
And so, that's high up. I'll stack on top of you and use my bow and arrow to shoot this target. It was made by the same team that did Link to the Past or Link Between Worlds on the 3DS, where you turn into a painting. Can't turn into a painting on this one. But so this is what this what it looked like.
I can see us playing this
Mm-hmm.
and then Hayden sabotaging it because he won't do what we say. Am I wrong about that?
No, you're not wrong.
I'm gonna say D.
D. Alrighty.
It's just the multiplayer. I want to get frustrated real quick.
So next we have Twilight Princess.
I can see Hayden falling off the top and be like, I'm like,
You're
Hayden,
not wrong, though.
freaking just do what we need to say.
Next we have Twilight Princess, which it was released on the GameCube and released on the Wii, and then eventually made into an HD version on the Wii U. And it is a darker, grittier Zelda game because they made another game we'll talk about later, which was more cartoony, and then they made this one. This is just a fun fact. Link has always been left-handed. So in the GameCube version, he's left-handed. In the Wii version, which had motion controls, they switched it to him to be right-handed because most people are right-handed.
Remote.
Anyway, and there's a lot of the basic story is Link is like a farm boy in this village, and he and his childhood friend / crush or whatever. Something happens where I can't remember what the inciting incident is, but Link gets cursed and turned into a wolf, and this imp girl named Midna is like, "Oh, I'm going to join you because we need to help each other. I can help you not turn into a wolf, and then you can help me get revenge on the Twilight Realm. Like, the Twilight Realm has been taken over, and now they're starting to take over Hyrule. They want to revive Ganondorf.
Yeah.
Princess Zelda is forced to go on the run from her kingdom. Like, everything's gone to crap." And so the gameplay is normal Legend of Zelda gameplay, but also you turn into a wolf, and that has different combat and different mechanics.
Ooh.
And so there's the screenshots there.
As previously stated, I do love werewolves. S.
It's basically Link as a werewolf.
S.
Dude,
S.
I will say,
Is that
story
a hot take?
Story-wise, it is probably one of my favorite Zelda games. I know this is the last episode, so I'll start giving my opinion a little more after he's ranked it. That game has a twist. That game has a story twist that I love watching people's reactions to.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Next, we have The Wand of Gamelon. Technically,
D. Just kidding.
technically the first game in the Legend of Zelda franchise in which you can play as Zelda. It is a sequel.
Oh?
It is a sequel to The Faces of Evil.
Which one is that again?
That's the that Link.
No, the Draft Tongue one.
No, it's a sequel to this one.
Oh, that one.
So here we
Oh no.
have that. So that's what it looks like. You play as Zelda instead of Link because Link is sent off. So Ganon's up to no good, so Link is sent off to stop him, and he doesn't return. So Zelda's dad is like, "Oh, let me go check on Link," and he doesn't return. So Zelda has to go save them.
She's like,
There's one thing where it's like you fight a witch because it's the one with the stupid cutscenes. You fight a witch, and the witch is like, "I'm dying," and then Zelda's just good, and that's the end of the cutscene.
cut this out, but this is my mom watching The Bachelor.
That's also a screenshot from one of the cutscenes.
Okay, listen. Dude looks like he has a pumpkin hand there. C.
My boy.
C. Okay, no. C.
C. Okay, so above Faces of Evil, which was in D. So we're putting it in C.
No, D.
D. Okay. I didn't want to sway you. That wasn't me trying to sway you.
I don't remember what I see. All these run together. I don't remember what I didn't like about it. Was that the one from last week? Yeah, the picture was that
was from last week. Yeah.
Last week.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the last one from last week?
The last one from last week was Skyward Sword.
Okay.
It might have been the last one from last week.
Because
Yeah,
remember,
it
there's
was
one more after email.
Yeah, it was the last one from last week. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah, put it at D.
put it at D.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
That dude looks creepy.
So next we have The Wind Waker, which was the first game on the GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
Link lives on an island with his sister and his grandmother and a small group of other people in a village, and he's never really left the island. His sister, he doesn't really have a want to leave the island. He's like okay with the island life, just laying around being sleepy. His sister loves to watch the ocean and has a telescope and stuff. One day, pirates come to shore, but not because they're trying to rob the village, but because they're on the run from this bird, this giant bird who has been kidnapping girls with pointy ears. You know who has pointy ears? Link's sister.
Oh.
So
I said Link.
So Link, or whoever you name him, this is one of the ones you can name him, joins these pirates, including a girl named Tetra, on the ocean so he can go save his sister, and then he ends up just being swept up in a whole adventure. This Link is a reluctant hero. Mm-hmm. He just wanted to be on an island sleeping, and it leads to a lot of comedy of like they launch him off the ship with using a slingshot, and they place him in a barrel, and the cutscene for that is just his facial expression just going from like surprise to anger to like and then he just like sitting. It's so it is known, it was criticized at the time, and people have since turned around about it for its cartoony art style. And part of that was because at E3 the year before, they showed an art style that was a lot more similar to Twilight Princess. So people were like, oh yeah, we're getting our nitty gritty fantasy Zelda story. And then we got this. And you sail across the ocean, you get a talking boat instead of a ferry or whoever.
Yeah.
And you go from island to island. It's semi-open world.
S.
S? Okay.
Yes. I thought S before you told me most of it. It went up as you kept talking about it, and if I could go above S,
It also has
I would.
a story twist that's pretty cool to watch people react to. Next, we have Wind Waker HD, and the reason I included this one specifically is because it does improve the game a lot. There is a side quest where you have to get pieces of the Triforce. There's a side quest where you have pieces of the Triforce that you have to collect, but it's like tedious. It's padding out the game. So they shorten that side quest in the re-release. They completely, like, the game looks, absolutely gorgeous, with keeping the same art style, and just a lot of different other quality of life improvements where it's almost like where the others are, oh, this is a good version of the game to play, this is a superior version of the game to play. And this is the part of the tier list where it's my opinion seeping in by including it as a separate game. But this is what it looks like as compared to like
S.
Yeah.
S. Those two are both right up there. S, immediate S.
So Wind Waker in there. Next, we have The Adventure of Link. It is the second Zelda game in the entire series. Yeah, it keeps jumping back to the Girahim screenshot, so Jay keeps getting jump scared. So The Adventure of Link was the second game in the series. Instead of being top-down, it was a side-scrolling platformer. But you had a top-down overworld, and you would enter caves and it would become a side-scrolling platformer. Link used magic. There were villages you visited where you talked to people. And what it is Zelda has been put to sleep by the worshippers of Ganon, who are trying to revive Ganon after Link kills him in the first game. Mm-hmm. At least that's roughly. There's timeline, whatever shenanigans going on.
Yeah.
This is what the game looked like. There are a lot of references from these games, but this game is really kind of the black sheep because it plays so different from every other Zelda game.
Yeah.
It's also notoriously hard. The final boss...
And both of those?
Yes. Okay. The final boss is notoriously hard. Just different.
I'm going to say B.
B?
My gut says C.
C? Well,
put it at C.
We can put it in C. And now we have the last game, Zelda's Adventure. So...
D. Just kidding.
Faces of Evil and Wand of Gamelon were made for the Philips CDI, like I explained before, which was a non-Nintendo console, and it was they were both so bad that Nintendo was just like, yeah, no, never again. You know, there was a canceled Mario game because of it and stuff like that. There was a third game in this trilogy of CDI games, but instead of using crappily animated cutscenes with a weird 2D side-scrolling gameplay, it was a FMV game, which basically means like live. It's like motion video in a game.
Yeah.
Including it played like a classic Zelda top-down game. You played as Zelda again, but everything is live action, including the gameplay itself.
Oh, no.
It controls like garbage.
No. No. Am I watching the Ten Commandments?
Don't make me choke. Anyway, so but yeah, D,
F.
F, like
F.
D. All right. So that is our Zelda
There's an honorary F tier for that.
honorary
one alone.
F tier for that one.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think I can add tier. No, it won't let me. Anyway, so our final ranking for the Zelda series,
You're gonna have to tell me if I'm right on any of these.
and I will. So our final ranking for the Zelda series is Breath of the Wild in S tier. So S tier is Breath of the Wild, definitely. Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, A or B, I would say, as far as like
Yeah.
people.
Tell
talk
me how
about
you would rank these.
how I would rank
Tell me
them.
how you would rank these.
Take them
as
how.
a game.
Okay, so we don't have to talk about general public. We'll just talk about how I would
Yeah.
rank them. All right.
Yeah.
Because I have played all but the CDI games,
Which are garbage.
which are hot garbage. So Breath of the Wild S tier, I would agree. Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition in S tier, I would say A, maybe high B. Ocarina of Time, A tier. Ocarina of Time 3D S tier. Twilight Princess, definitely I would say S tier. Wind Waker, S plus. That's my favorite Zelda game ever.
Is that the one that I put the first one, not the?
And then the
Okay.
HD one is also S tier. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, or A tier is Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. I would agree, A tier. Link Between Worlds, that's S tier. That's the one where you turn into a painting. That one's S tier.
Oh no.
Link's Awakening DX, Link's Awakening Nintendo Switch, both A tier. I agree, definitely A tier. Oracle of Seasons. I would say the Oracle games swap between A and B because they're Game Boy games,
it's
so
like
they
kind
haven't
of a
aged the
toss-up, don't you,
best.
too?
But so it's a toss up. Also an A tier with Spirit Tracks. Spirit Tracks, I would say, is B. That's a solid B game. Tears of the Kingdom, S tier.
Did I put that in A?
You put that in A.
Okay.
It's absolutely S tier. Man, someone's
You're wrong,
put a lot of these in S tier. It's because most of these games are really good.
Yeah. And Jay is just illiterate when it comes to video games, unless they're PlayStation.
So B tier, we have A Link to the Past. That's probably A tier. Some people would put that in S tier, but I would say that's probably A tier. Link's Awakening, I agree. Like the original version of Link's Awakening, I agree. That's a B tier. Minish Cap, I'm in the middle of playing it, so I don't know where I rank that yet. Oracle of Ages, like I said, it swaps between A and B. Phantom Hourglass, that I love it to death. Childhood game that I had on my DS. It's a C tier game. There's a
And I
lot
had
of
it at B.
you had it at B.
There's
There's a lot.
Tell me which one of these are like the shark.
That
Man.
was the one with the going back and forth between the dungeon. It was
Okay,
the
yeah.
pirate ship on
Yeah.
DS.
Yeah.
Link's
I remember that
crossbow
now.
training, that is D.
Where did I have that at?
At B.
I don't remember most of
That was a
these.
rail shooter. That was the one where it had the
Oh, where it had the target of the crotch. of
Yeah.
The alien dude.
So C tier we have Cadence of Hyrule.
Is that the music one?
Yeah. B, C. It's really, really good, but as far as compared to the rest of the Zelda games, it's a different thing. So Majora's Mask,
I'm gonna catch
that
a lot
is
of crap for that.
I rank it A. That is considered an S tier game in the Zelda community. That is a lot of people's favorite Zelda game, which we'll get to later. Skyward Sword,
Oh, no.
that one is divisive. I give it an A. A lot of people would give it a.
Is that
a-
the
a
one with
B
the
or a
draft
C.
tongue emo
Yeah.
dude? Why'd I put that at C?
Because you like the gameplay, but the story, but the characters really knocked it down for
And
you.
the screenshot threw me off.
Yeah.
Emo
C
unicorn
tier,
guy.
the original Legend of Zelda. I would agree. I mean, it's the original, so it has a lot of like you could rank it higher for legacy alone, but there's definitely a lot of games that
Yeah.
have done it better.
Yeah.
Then the Adventure of Link. Yeah, C tier.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard. Not my thing. D tier. We
four-
have
is that the
Four
four?
Swords Adventures and Four Swords. I'd say they're C tier games.
Mm-hmm.
Majora's Mask 3D. That is community wise, the Nintendo 64 version is usually considered better. I would give it an A, but it is a fan favorite.
And this is the
This is
remastered
this
one we
is-
have.
Yeah,
I think that's because Shark Moon.
that was Shark Moon.
Shark Moon.
My Nintendo Picross Twilight Princess and D
Hold on.
tier.
I got so much crap from Trey because it said it looks nothing like a shark. I said, you don't know what I was looking at. It's like, I played the game. I do know what you're looking at. I'm like, it looks like a shark. I immediately thought of a shark.
And that's just yeah.
It's a shark.
My Nintendo Picross Twilight Princess. It's a Picross game. It's D tier.
Yeah.
Faces of Evil, Wand of Gamelon, and Zelda's Adventure are, you're right, F tier, but we can't go that low with this tier list, so D tier. And Triforce
Oh, I
Hero,
put all three of them in D
yeah,
tier?
in
Okay,
D
good.
tier. And then Triforce Heroes, I'd say D tier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most people might rank it a little higher, but
So it's like about half right.
you got
according
about
to what
half
you
right,
like.
and then you got about half where I was like, okay.
You did the one like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Like,
so you got
okay.
some, like I said, you got some that are considered bad games that are higher, and you got some that are considered the best of the best that are
At Tears of Kingdom and A.
Yeah.
Or no, what was the one
Tears
I
of
have
the
in B?
Kingdom and Majora's Mask.
Yeah, Majora's Mask. What I have in C.
And C, you had
No, I mean, where was Majora's Mask?
Majora's Mask was C. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Anyway,
I'm terrified.
so
I'm so terrified.
that was our June tier list. Join us next week for our first tier list or episode and tier list of July. Definitely a lot to look forward to. Stay tuned. You can find the podcast on most social medias at Mondays for Nerds. You can find me on most social medias, Tristan Stump, at Sir Stumps a lot 17 or Sir Stumps a lot. You can find Jay on Twitter.
At Poe the Panda 001 with a hot and poppin' bike riders tweet that's active. Surprisingly, very much active right now. I don't know why.
Sometimes you just tweet about the right thing and it gets liked and retweeted.
But they
and
didn't
stuff.
like my dolphin fart tweet?
My biggest tweet, or the one that's biggest for me, was the one that was liked by Ken Jeong that ended up joke that ended up being a lot similar to a Netflix series that came out way later. And then there was also the Flex Tape Twitter account retweeted a Smash
I forgot about that.
Smash thing, and I commented on it and they retweeted that comment. I got a lot of comments and likes on it, and it was just like, holy crap! All I said was
Swift knows
all
me.
I said was Phil Swift for Smash, and that was the most traction my Twitter account has ever gotten.
Phil Swift.
I can post all the art I want. I can post all the random opinions I want. No, it's Phil Swift. The mention of the name that gets me.
Hey, Phil Swift drives to power. It's like me. I can tweet about the bike riders at Alamo Draft House, but by God, no one wants to hear me my theories on dolphin farts.
What was I the only person that were
I
interacting
think
with
so.
that?
I think so. So let me just explain this real quick. Let me just explain. I need to get this, and you need to keep this in.
Okay.
So I was watching Blue Planet, and a lot of the dolphin communications sound exactly like the fart sounds that are used on TV and cinema. So I'm like, what if they're using the fart sounds, but it's actually dolphins saying like hello and or help?
Well, on that note, be sure to join us next week. We will see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.